This video is going to be all about the idea of understanding more about unconditional love. What are some things we can do to embody more of it and to have certain realizations that really tap us into that state of being? Well, for me, these three things I'm going to share with you today are things that I've applied in my own life, and I've seen a much better connection that I've been able to feel towards other people, but also realizations I've been able to have about myself. So the first one comes upon the idea of understanding how we can drop labels. So I've talked about this a little bit in a prior video, but the main part of this is understanding that at a deeper level, every single one of us are connected. Something that we seem very prompted to do is to put labels on other people. Now, these labels can sometimes be done at even a more subconscious level, but the idea is that we put labels based upon someone's culture, someone's identity, maybe their gender, their race, different categories that we automatically put them into that we might expect them to behave in a certain way. Now, the idea behind labeling is that when we do that, what we do is we put them into what could fundamentally be called a mental construct. We then kind of define who they are, and at the end of the day anyways, those little characteristics aren't really the full vastness of who they are. They're just nothing more than a characteristic in itself. Now, understand that these labels to begin with are forms of separation, because when we have and we emphasize labels, we're emphasizing the identity of it, which then says that this is me and then that is you. So when we just drop this identity, when we meet other people, one thing that we could do is to just feel into who they are. Simply have the intention of connecting with them. And when we do that, what we begin to do is bring the awareness out of the head, which is constantly developing more of mental constructs, and then we allow it to get into the feeling part of our body, which is our heart. Now, science has even shown that more powerful than the electromagnetic energy of the brain is the electromagnetic energy of the heart. It's thousands of times stronger, and the reason that is because there's more power in feeling than there is in thinking. Now, this is something that if we apply, we're going to be able to feel more connected to other people, and we're going to be able to not put people into little boxes defining who they are, because beyond that they are much further vast. So let's go on to the second idea. The second idea that I want to share with you guys has to do with understanding unconditional love from a point of rationalization. Now, the reason I'm using this point is because we might say that it's easy to feel connection with other people, like people that we just meet. We can look for, things of similarity, we can drop the labels, but what about people that have maybe done us wrong in the past? What are some things that we can do towards forgiving and actually letting go of those things that are causing that inner resistance to be there? Well, this realization is something that I've used to really just let go of any type of resistance I've had towards people, and this comes from understanding that people will always make decisions based upon their level of consciousness. I'm going to say that again. People will always make their decisions from the level of consciousness that they're in. Now, what does this mean? This means that they rationalize whatever decision they make based upon the state and the perception that they are in. So that state, that perception, is something that because they're in that state, that is why they're making that rationalized choice. So maybe we say that somebody, let me give an example, like maybe somebody stole from you. The idea is that somebody's your friend, but you found them that they stole from you, and it's kind of hard to let that go. Well, understanding that they rationalized it from their point of view allows us to accept that they made that decision based upon their beliefs, upon their perceptions and the state they were in. Now imagine maybe they were more in a survival mode because they didn't believe in their own worthiness. Or maybe they, like somebody steals from a grocery store and they do it because they just lost their job and they're trying to feed their family. Now, I know that's not always the case, but the idea is that they rationalize it from their point of view, even if their intention is not good. But what we can do is at least accept the fact that that's what they did, that's the decision they made. That's not necessarily the wholeness of who they are, it's just something that they've done based upon the level of awareness that they're at. So this is something that allows us to really just forgive other people, and forgiveness is a very powerful tool towards being able to understand more of unconditional love. Now, the third idea I want to share with you is the idea of unconditionally loving ourselves. So Imagine that we're on a flight, and if you've been on a flight, you know that when you're getting ready for takeoff, one of the stewardesses might say that in the case of an emergency, the pressure mask will come down. You need to secure your pressure mask before you can help anybody else. That is because if you aren't 100% able to help other people, you're of no use anyways. In the same way, if we want to give unconditional love to other people, the idea behind this is understand that we must first unconditionally love ourselves. We must have an ecology of positive emotion. We must understand that us loving ourselves is one of the most powerful things that we can do towards actually sharing that love then with other people. Now, how can we cultivate unconditional love for ourselves? Well, it means becoming aware of certain things, maybe of the food that we're putting into our body. Understanding that when we put more nutritious food into our body feels better. That is an act, that is a decision based upon the rationalization of a higher level of awareness. Now, we can also look at the idea of putting ourselves in situations or in environments that cultivate positive energy. This means that we pay attention to how we feel when we're around certain people, and that we choose to be around people that amplify our energy and that make us feel good. This could also mean that we do activities that make us feel good. So if we find that we enjoy reading, for example, if we find that we enjoy playing sports, to do those things because they cultivate more of that positive emotion, more of that excitement inside of our body. And then because of that, we're actually making decisions based upon unconditional love rather than anything else. So the idea is to get in tune with what makes you feel good. Understand that the more you make decisions based upon that level of awareness, the more that you are unconditionally loving yourself. Understand that we can drop the labels that we have with other people. We can choose to feel into who other people are, make a heartfelt connection rather than just a mental construct connection, and understand that the more that we do this, the more that we're really existing in unconditional love, the more that we're able to forgive other people for things that's happened because we understand that they rationalized it from their point of view, and these realizations have really helped me have more unconditional love for other people, to feel it for myself, and to really allow myself to feel that positive emotion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Feel free to like and subscribe below. Nothing but unconditional love for you. Have a great day.